Mhm. All right. Good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is for you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Amanda, for any of you that I have not met before. So grateful to have you in this virtual space and sharing this practice with me, so thank you. We'll begin by coming into a little bit of an orienting and grounding space. So you might wish to come into seated, you might wish to come to a lying down shape, or anything that feels a little bit more easeful in your body. So please take your time to move and shift in that way. And as we get into our practice today, this practice is all about you taking time out for you taking time to step into choice, step into curiosity, and everything in between, making this practice whatever it needs to be for you today. So wherever you are, take a moment to notice how it is that your body is resting against the ground below you. You might notice the contact points of your body connecting either with a bolster or a pillow if you're seated. You might be directly on the mat. And notice the parts of your body that feel the most heavily connected. So that might be sit bones or back body. And starting to land into your space, take a moment to either look around your space and just become oriented with it. Maybe look around and just tune into what it is that you have around and in your space here. And if it's useful for you, you might begin to close your eyes completely. Trust that you can leave your eyes open and begin to tune into the sounds. See how far into the distance you can cast your awareness. So can you hear sounds outside of your space? It might be sounds outside. It might be sounds in my ambient environment. So you might hear the sounds of the birds as they start to wake up. We've got a tui that sits in the tree. You can hear him now. Starting to notice the sounds inside of your space. Notice a sound, pull it a little bit closer, and then gently release it. Going one sound to the next. And begin to notice sounds inside your own physical body, on your mat, in proximity. It might be the sound of your breath. It might be the sound of your heart. You might even listen so deeply within that you can actually hear the creaking of bones and settling of muscles as you release a little bit further. Simply becoming aware of right here, right now. Our practice today will be just short of 1 hour, and you can trust that I'll bring you back exactly on time. So as you tune into this practice, going a little bit further within, and beginning to scan through your internal landscape. So you might start to notice how you feel this morning or this afternoon, wherever you are. Is there a certain quality to your feelings or sensations within your body? You might tune into energy levels. You might notice thoughts. Not making any of them right or wrong, good or bad. Simply becoming aware. And we'll begin to come into our first shape this morning. So beginning to move into a space where you're seated with your legs extended out in front of you. So taking your time to move into that shape. You'll come in to seated. legs extending out in front. You might take a moment there and notice how your legs feel. Is there a pulling? Is there a lengthening? There might be elements of tightness or something else that I'm not naming. So just tuning into that. And if it's useful for you, you might sit onto a blanket or onto a rolled up end of your mat here. But as you're ready, there's a gentle inhale. As you exhale, start to round forward, coming into your version of a forward fold this morning. Rounding through your back body, letting that be heavy. And this is where you might wish to take a pillow or any other accessories that you have to rest your upper body down. So coming in and having the bolster or a pillow, maybe a block resting under your forehead like this, something else completely. Staying in that space, settling in there. And begin to notice how it feels to be there in your forward fold, letting shoulders round, upper body becoming soft and heavy. Trust that you can take these first few moments to explore, to notice what it's like to arrive in this shape. In Yin Yoga, we have our 3 guiding principles. We first explore a level of comfort that's appropriate. So I sometimes refer to this as the Goldilocks spot. It's coming into the shape where you don't feel too much, it's not too intense, but it's also not too little or too quiet. It's something that's just right for you. So trust that you can shift and adjust and find that Goldilocks spot, whatever it might be for you in this moment. And your eyes might close here, they might stay open, guiding you into the second principle, which is a resolve to find stillness. And this might be you remaining physically still, knowing that you can shift and move at any point. But this might also be where you explore a calming or a stilling of mind. Can you find such ease in your shape that things become a little bit quieter, maybe a little bit slower? And third, we hold for a length of time. I will be keeping track of time throughout this session, so know that all there is for you to do here is become curious and open to your own present experience while I keep track of time. Noticing ambient sounds as you linger in stillness in this shape. Can the sounds outside of you begin to drift and become a little bit quieter as you tune more into how it feels to be in this shape? Tuning into any sensation you might be feeling along the back of your legs, maybe your upper back body, shoulders rounding, upper body held and supported. And in this final minute here, maybe you notice any change or any shift that has occurred over the length of your practice. It might be a change in sensation, or maybe your energy levels have shifted. Noticing how and where you feel that. Allow yourself to notice the next few rounds of breath. Maybe each exhale settles your body a little bit more. Slowly preparing to come out of your shape. Coming out as slow as you came in. So as you roll up vertebra by vertebra, gently allow your spine to stack. Take a moment there at the top and come to lie all the way onto your back, coming into a full rebound. Allowing any accessories, pillows, anything like that to come out to the side, and coming to lie fully onto your back in what's called a rebound. Allowing your whole body to release, to find ease in this rebound. Knowing that the rebound is the space in which you receive. This is where all benefits can settle in at a physical level, a mental level, energetic and other. No effort. There might be a sense of softness or heaviness here. Breathing in the benefits. Exhaling to settle them in. Taking a moment or two here. And as we start to cultivate this more yin-like energy, the slowness, the introspective, the curious, you might start to notice that you move through your practice a little bit slower or a little bit more intentionally, becoming aware of each movement that you make. And over time, maybe bending through your knees or rolling off to the side or coming up through center, however feels best for you, we'll begin to come and meet on all fours or a tabletop shape. So please take your time to move there, going slow and steady, coming into all fours or tabletop shape. From here, take a moment to notice if there's any little microscopic or small movements that your body is maybe looking to explore. So you might wriggle gently through your spine. You might move up and down or side to side. Taking any breath or any movement that you need before settling into the next shape. From here, your feet might come a little bit closer and your knees might walk either closer together or out to the sides of your mat, and gently sit back into your heels, noticing how that feels on hips and knees. And when you're ready, the hands might extend out in front of you as your body rests down, coming into what we call a child's pose, but taking your time to settle into that space. And again, trust that the knees can be wherever feels best for you. It might be that they're closer together. It might be that they come further to the sides of the mat. And then the arms are long and extended away from you. Or they might be a little bit wider. They might tuck back towards your feet. The beauty of this practice is that there is no right or wrong. There is no best way to practice. It truly is about what feels best in this present moment. Allowing yourself that time to shift and change, to adjust. It might be moving or shifting the hips, maybe adjusting through arms. Remembering that each time you arrive into a shape, how is it that you can find your appropriate level of comfort? Maybe allowing yourself to go to the too much and scale back to the not enough. And slowly ebb and flow, easing yourself into exactly what's best for you here and now. Noticing how your breath moves through you in this shape. It might be that you feel a compression through your hips and having the hips above the heart space. It might change how you're breathing here. Can you observe your inhale? And simply notice how your exhale releases. Observing and watching the natural ebb and flow of your breath. You are halfway through this shape. There might be moments where your mind begins to wander. You might find yourself pulled into the past or drifting into the future, or any thoughts that might be distracting. Trust that it is absolutely okay to follow those trains of thought. And also know that at any time you can disrupt that thought loop or that pattern and come back to noticing either your breath or notice the contact points of your body against the ground. Coming back to right here, right now. Right here, right now. Taking a few more rounds of breath here. It might be slow and steady breaths. It might be quick, short, no right or wrong, simply becoming aware. And over time, pressing down through your hands, lifting up into that tabletop shape once again, and then coming to lie on your abdomen or lying onto your front body. If that's not what your body is asking for today, you might stay and come onto your back, whichever one is more accessible or feels best suited to your practice. Coming into that space of rebound, either lying on back or abdomen. Noticing what it feels like to lengthen through your legs, to release and lengthen through the hip joint again. You might feel sensations moving through your body at this point. When we go from closing a joint to opening it, sometimes there can be a new flush of circulation. So you might be curious and notice if you can sense or feel into that. And just hear that tissues begin to reform, restructure. They find new length, thickness, and health. Sensing into what that's like for you. And over time, we'll begin to move into our next shape. So if you aren't already, begin to rest onto your abdomen, maybe doing a little pancake over if you're not there already. And allow yourself to rest the left cheek onto the mat and extend the left hand out to the left side, right hand out to the right side. So you'll be making this little T shape. And then very gently press down into your right hand and start to roll up and open. This will mean that your back arm, so your left arm, will be resting on the mat. And then you might take a pillow to rest under your top knee as you come into this space. We call this open wing, taking your time here. And I'll show you how the left arm will be open and extended, putting pressure onto the left arm. So taking your time to come into that shape. It doesn't need to be anything but what feels best on the bottom left shoulder. Opening along the left as you pressing open. That top right leg can stay bent and resting onto a pillow or resting in front of your body as support. And allow your mind's eye to come into that bottom left shoulder that's gently being opened. Could the inhales expand or find a sense of space in that area? And maybe each exhale, you can feel a gentle releasing. It might be that your bones start to feel heavier, muscles becoming softer. Trusting that there is nothing left for you to do here. Every muscle that doesn't need to be working can slowly turn off, releasing even further. Your mind's eye might come to the back of your left shoulder and notice if there's any gentle pressure here. We call this compression, when parts of the body press against another, or it can be that it's pressing against the floor. Noticing that sense of pressure here. There's an opening along the front. and the gentle closing and pressure along the back. What is it like to watch that space in your shoulder and observe the shifts and changes over time? As you take this final minute here, notice what it's like to stay mindfully aware. Anytime your mind becomes distracted, know that that's perfectly normal. And gently come back to right here, right now. Remaining for a few more rounds of breath here. And each exhale, you might breathe out anything that doesn't need to come along with you. Anything that doesn't need to come out the other side of this shape. And when you are ready, allow yourself to shift and move slowly and mindfully back to center. Coming into a mini rebound here. You might allow the opposite cheek to rest down. You might possibly reach your hands down beside your hips as you rest on abdomen. Body heavy, no effort here. Mind's eye might become curious about how the left shoulder feels now. We've taken it into an opening, maybe a sense of stretch along the front. What does it feel like now to come back to neutral? Watching as sensation dissolves and dissipates. Maybe sensation becoming quieter. We'll begin to move to the other side. This time, the right cheek rests against the mat, left arm out to the left, right to the right, finding that T shape in your body, reaching hands to either side. When you're ready, press down into the left hand, rolling up and on to the right shoulder. And then again, you might take a pillow to rest under your left knee or in front of your abdomen, finding a gentle length or opening in your right shoulder. Very little effort, very little sensation needed here. The rotator cuff, or the muscles of the rotator cuff, have a very important job to stabilize your shoulder, to protect. So we don't need much. There doesn't need to be a big, effortful stretch in this area. And a common misconception in yin yoga is the mentality of no pain, no gain. When in reality, it truly is that less is more. In yin, we want to work with the more intricate inner workings of your body, the deeper tissues, the fascia, indirectly benefiting the joints by finding space. So the more soft, The more relaxed and comfortable you can be, this is where the magic lies. When body can trust that it is safe enough to relax or to release gently, this is where we create more space between the muscle fibers. And that space allows us to take pressure off of the joints, bringing a little bit more resilience, longevity, and health into the joints of your body by nourishing your connective tissue, nourishing your fascial system, calming nervous system. Taking a moment to notice what that feels like in your right shoulder. Beginning to notice if any change has occurred. Maybe you notice a difference along the front of your right shoulder, maybe the back. Whole rest of body might feel heavier, maybe softer. Mindfully aware for your final minute here. And we'll take a few more rounds of breath wherever you are, taking a moment to notice what it's like to be here. Maybe your breath has changed. Gently coming back to your midline, coming back to center when you're ready. Resting into that space of rebound, either remaining resting on your abdomen, or you might shift and move into a shape that's better for you. Anything that feels a little bit more easeful, something where there's no effort in your body. Maybe you can notice the left and the right. You might again tune into the contact points of where your body meets the ground. And taking a moment there. Slowly over time, either pressing up through your hands or wherever you're coming from, we'll meet in a seated shape. Please move slowly, whatever feels best for you. Take your time, there is no rush. And as you come to seated, allowing your legs to come out in front of you, so feet coming away from your body. Take a moment to notice the transition from lying on the mat to seated. Eyes might be closed or looking down towards your cheekbones. And over time, allow the soles of the feet to come together to touch. This shape is called butterfly. But notice if you automatically put your feet in a certain shape, you might take your time to notice what it's like to move the feet a little bit further from your body. Or maybe today you want to walk them a little bit closer. But take your time and really notice which one feels best, the degree or the space from feet to body. When you find what's best and most supportive for you, I like to bring something to rest under my knees. So if that calls to you, you might take a moment and support through your knees here with whatever you have handy. And over time, you might start to roll forward, coming into a forward fold here. And then maybe taking any other accessories you have to rest under your forehead. It might be a block or a blanket or a pillow, anything to come to rest under your forehead or under your torso, supporting your body here. Take your time to settle in, knowing that you can make any adjustments to where your feet have ended up. Now that you've rolled forward, if you have, you might notice that your feet want to move either further away or closer to your body, depending on the sensation you wish to feel. And once you find that space that feels most easeful for you, something that you can maintain and linger in, that's where we explore the notion of stillness. I often find that within a yin shape, when I'm feeling sensation in my body, the resolve to remain still is what helps me cultivate a sense of tolerance or a capacity for discomfort. It shows me that I can hold different experiences within my body and have the capacity to move through them. When met with a sense of challenge or something uncomfortable, how is it that you hold space for yourself? Maybe you breathe in and through those moments. Maybe you move through them or out of them, trusting that you know best every step of the way. Tuning in to right here, right now. We'll be here for a few more rounds of breath or a few more moments. Noticing what you notice. Maybe the intention to exhale anything that doesn't need to come along. Be that thoughts or sensations. When you're ready, using your hands, maybe helping to guide you back up vertebra by vertebra. And the hands can help guide the knees back to center, extending through the legs, and coming to lie all the way onto your back. So come to rest down in a rebound, all the way onto your back. Finding any sense of ease in your body when you arrive here. Lying down, back body held and supported. You might notice sensation here. And now that we've taken hips into an external rotation, we'll take them into more of an internal rotation and come into a gentle spinal twist as well. So from lying on your back, begin to bend through your knees with the feet on the floor. And take a moment there. From here, let the right leg come and rest on top of the left. So the knees are closer together. The right hamstring is resting close to the left quadricep. And from there, allowing legs to fall down over to the left-hand side. I typically put a pillow or a blanket under the knees or the legs, twisting through the torso in whatever way feels best. Supporting through legs and body. Letting the shoulders find whatever shape is best for you here. Your gaze might look to the left or the right. Shoulders can find whatever shape feels most supportive in your body. The intention here is nourishment of the nervous system and the spine. Remembering that less is truly more. You might find that your eyelids become a little bit heavier. You might even choose to close your eyes. You can always keep them open. Observing how the twist and the gentle curve and turn of your body feels here. If it's useful for you, you might notice how your breath moves through this shape. Maybe tuning into how the inhales fill the shape of your body and how each exhale allows you to release, maybe softening further into your shape. Taking a few more rounds of breath here, or a few more moments to notice and observe how you are. You might move your head back to center first if it's not already, and then the legs might come back to the midline. Taking a moment in that space of rebound. What is it like to go from a twisted shape back to center? And trust that you can pause here as long as you would like. And in your own time and way, only when you are ready. Left leg comes to rest up and over the right. Over time, legs might rest down to the right-hand side, twisting in the opposite direction now. And even if your arms found one shape on the first side, trust that you can do anything that feels best in the arms here. What do your shoulders need? What does your neck need? Finding that variation or that shape in your body. Knowing this side might feel different. Trusting that that's perfectly normal. We have many, many asymmetries in our bodies. The intention is to not make any of them right or wrong, good nor bad. Simply acknowledging and noticing. Allowing our bodies to be exactly as they are. Right here, right now. In this final minute, maybe witnessing your present moment experience. You might either notice sensation, or tune into sounds, whatever it is that helps keep you centered, you grounded. A few more moments here. It is from this shape that you'll move into your final shavasana, or your final resting pose, whatever that means for you. Intentionally move back to center, shift and adjust, move in any way that you need. You might grab layers, maybe sweaters or blankets, whatever would help your final resting shape. Be easeful and intentional in your body today. Trust that you can take a more traditional shavasana, lying on your back, with legs naturally resting palms face up. Or you might take a seated meditation or something else completely. There's no right or wrong way to end your practice. As you make any final adjustments, any final shifts, as you settle into this space, no matter where you are, you might take a moment to shift your shoulders, lengthen through your neck, whatever that means for you, knowing that you can keep your eyes open, or you might start to close them, tuning into here and now. Shavasana is the space that our whole practice integrates, settling in at a cellular level. Allowing your breath to find its natural rhythm, space between the teeth, maybe the tongue gets heavier as your jaw relaxes a little bit further. And I will be holding some time in silence throughout this Shavasana, but please know and trust that I will bring you back exactly on time with the sound of my voice. Nothing left for you to do here as you rest and receive. Taking a moment to notice how it is to be resting where you are. Tuning back into your contact points of body against the support below. As you start to invigorate and wake yourself back up, you might notice inhales becoming a little bit longer, maybe a little bit more full. For some, you might wish to stay in rest and stay exactly as you are, so please trust that. For some, you might have a day or a night to carry on with and things to do. So you might start to wake yourself up with movements through fingers and toes. You might roll through ankles and wrists. Maybe there's that full body yawn as you stretch from fingers to toes. Noticing how that feels no matter where you've chosen to be. Either staying exactly as you are, or you might roll to one side or the other. Taking a moment there. And for some, you might shift and move to seated as you close your practice in that way. No right or wrong. No matter where it is that you've chosen to end up, taking a moment to hold your practice in and with a sense of appreciation. Appreciation for this time that was carved out for you today. You might bow towards your practice, towards yourself. Humbly, from the bottom of my heart to yours, thank you so much for your virtual presence, for allowing me to guide you through this practice and being here and now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please take your time and know that there is absolutely no rush. Doing all that you need throughout the rest of your day or night. And I thank you for your time.